whenever you are working on this particular file, that is hibernate.cfg.xml, whenever you are working on the file hibernate.cfg.xml, so the first thing that you have to add in this file is the document type definition of hibernate, the first thing. So which will start something like this: doc type, and something like that it will be there. After this doc type, you are doing the hibernate configuration, so you have to keep a parent tag of hibernate configuration like this. And within the configuration of hibernate, you will have session factory. Hibernate based on Oracle notes are not given, sir. What notes? Attend the class properly, then you will never ask this question that hibernate on the basis of Oracle. If you have attended the yesterday session, I am clearly saying that what you have to change. Only 3 lines. We are not writing any query, you are not writing any query for table creation. During the class itself, I am saying what we have to change. Now, this code is same even for Oracle, Postgres, Cassandra, MySQL, for all. After this, we have to attach the property into it. Now, before writing these properties, as here you will write property name equals to driver underscore class, but you are doing configuration for hibernate, so it should be hibernate dot driver underscore class. Now here if you are from MySQL, then com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. If you are from Oracle, you have to write the link of Oracle. So that is the first property. As you are working on hibernate here, so before that, make sure that you have added these dependencies in your project. What dependencies? You have added the dependency of hibernate core. The version that I am using is 6.5.2, as the hibernate 7 version is not safe to use. It is having some of the bugs. And the driver of your database. So in case of MySQL, it is MySQL connector J. And in case of Oracle, it is OJDBC. Make sure that these two things are properly added. Then this is the property for driver class. After that, you have to provide the URL, username and password. That's it. After that, hibernate dot, or not hibernate actually, here we have to write connection. That was the old version of hibernate. Here we have to write connection, not hibernate. So connection dot URL, connection dot username and connection dot password. Basically these are the 4 things that you have to provide while you are configuring your hibernate. I will tell you one very easy way where this file is not required. but you should understand the working of this, that how these properties and all are working. Understood? So there is one particular part. If you have installed Eclipse for the very first time, you just hold on a minute. And I have told one thing. Let me open my uh, project here. So when we are configuring this particular file, just hold on a bit. In this file, I am not getting any error right now, but it is possible that on Hibernate hyphen configuration session hyphen factory property, here you will be getting errors. Now let me explain you a little bit about XML. This is a .xml file. This is a .xml file. And the XML file is almost like HTML only, as it also supports the tag with a minor difference. And that minor difference is, in HTML, we cannot use user defined tag, but in XML we can define our own tag. That is the difference. Now if I am writing a tag something like this, there is a tag and I am writing Shivam. Now in HTML there will be no error, but this doesn't mean anything. HTML will treat it as a paragraph. It's a paragraph tag. But in XML, I can define the meaning of this tag Shivam. To XML, we can say, now this Hibernate hyphen configuration, session hyphen factory, in reality, are these the tag of XML? Not at all. So if they are not the tag of XML, they are outsider tag. By default, in your IDE, there is one option that is disabled, that is called downloading external source. Means whenever you are using any external tag in a XML file, like this Hibernate configuration is an external tag, session factory is external tag, by default it is just turned off. We have to turn it on. So for that, if it is showing error to you on Hibernate configuration, session factory, just take your cursor over these two things and you will understand that. For that, you can see this window option at the top. So we'll just go to window, preference, and here you will see Maven. In Maven, There are two particular things: download artifact Java doc, download artifact sources. So what I will do, I will just close these two. Okay, this download artifact sources, download artifact Java doc, and here automatically update Maven project configuration. So these two things I will close, apply and apply and close. So here now it will affect the project. It is not showing, but internally it will affect, as I have settled up my ID internally. So if you are getting that error, what you have to do, just click on Windows, Preference, Maven, and just tick these three things: download artifact sources, download artifact Java doc, and at last this automatically update Maven project configuration. That's it. Apply, apply and close. That's it. And it will remove all your errors of this file. There's no error after that. Okay? It is just because XML doesn't know about this Hibernate hyphen configuration tag. You are telling, right? How you are telling that download it from internet, check it from internet. For that, your Eclipse or your laptop should be connected to internet at that time. Right? It is a problem if your laptop is not connected to internet. So these are the things. And if you were getting error in JDBC connection, so again check. For JDBC connection, we have to write connection dot driver underscore class, and it is all small. It is all small. Driver underscore class. Here I am writing my driver class. That is for MySQL. This is my URL. Here you have to write your own URL along with your database name, and make sure that this Hibernate CRUD or whatever database should be available within your system. Then your username and then your password. Generally, there is a case in terms of Oracle that the Oracle's URL are confusing. Maybe because of the universal database or session IDs or the service ID. So your Oracle's things are confusing in terms of JDBC, right? And one more thing, if you are working with Oracle, you have to change this dialect also. So here I am writing org.hibernate.dialect. What do you mean by dialect? Dialect means which database you are using. So if you are on Oracle, so this MySQL dialect will change to Oracle dialect. This will change to Oracle dialect if you are on Oracle. That's it. And you don't have to change anything else, right? On this particular part, there will be warnings. You can ignore these warnings. There will be no error in this file, right? So that is how Hibernate configuration is done. Now let's come down to something. Yesterday we have seen that we were writing only one entity tag over the class, and Hibernate was creating its table. Hibernate was creating its table. How many such annotations we are having? And by the way, if you notice who is giving this annotation entity, the entity annotation is given by Jakarta.persistence, means JPA only, but as Java changed to Jakarta, again the same question: why Java X dot changed to Jakarta X? Why some of the packages of Java changed to Jakarta dot instead of Java X? What is the reason? 2 days. I have asked this question 2 fine days. You can search it online and say, right? Why Java X changed to Jakarta? Now also you can search and tell. Java Enterprise Edition, Java Macro Edition, Java Standard Edition. What is this answer? Java Enterprise Edition. Your answer is not at all clear. You can search and tell me. It's important to understand. It's important to understand that why Java is naming some of its package from Java to Jakarta. Why so? You can search it. Srikar, searched. Search. Due to trademark. Whose trademark? Oracle. So what happened? Explain the incident. Don't explain me the words. Documentation of Srikar. Searched. Searching, sir. Oracle. Half correct. So as you know that the Oracle is not the developer of Java. It was developed by Sun Microsystem. Later on, it was acquired by Oracle. So Java was having two flavors at that time: Standard Edition and Enterprise Edition, means free Java and paid Java. So what Oracle did, they have sold the rights of Enterprise Edition Java to Eclipse. Eclipse is not only a ID, it's a complete company, it's a complete organization. After that, Eclipse was not getting agreed that we will keep these packages as Java X. Maybe they don't like this name. And what was the internal? It was never ever disclosed. But Eclipse was not getting agreed on Java X. I know the reason, but that reason is half correct, half incorrect. The half correct part is there was a trademark issue on Java X because Eclipse was launching their Eclipse Link ORM framework at that time, and that was having all its packages using Java X. Right? Eclipse was building its own ORM framework, that is Eclipse Link. In that, everywhere they have written all the package name as Java X, and that was doing different thing. And here Java X was doing different thing, and same kind of two packages we can't have. So as now Eclipse is the owner of Enterprise Edition, so they forcefully changed it. But why to Jakarta only? It can be USA dot persistence API, it can be Canada, it can be Germany, it can be Pakistan as well. Why Jakarta only? Last time you said it's an island. Now you are saying it's a city. How it will work? You are giving two answers in class. Last time you said island or not? I remember everything. Why specifically Jakarta? It's always a monopoly game. Monopoly means, how can I tell you, political kind of things. Okay, just for a example, I'm saying, let's say if this academy is giving me free hand to communicate in any language or apply any language except English. Of course, Hindi. Why? Because I am a Hindi person. And as a student, you will be having very less power to change my decision. Right? I can change any of your decision. Right? If tomorrow you want, let's say on Monday, you want that no class, you can't decide it. I can say Monday is holiday. By the way, not holiday. Right? So at that time, the all the developers were from this region, and this was their favorite travel destination, being an island and all those things. So that's why this was changed because of the trademark issue, but it is the half known thing. The main reason they said something else also, so half correct, half incorrect. Anyways, let's come down to Hibernate. So here we are saying this that the entity is converting any particular class into a database table, right? If you check clearly, all this is coming from jakarta.persistence.entity.id. As I have already told you that you should always look for the things that you are using in your project. So let's understand. Here, if you check in Maven dependencies, are you seeing this jakarta.persistence-api? This one. I will just open this jar file. In this jar file, there is one default package which is empty. And then we have this particular package jakarta.persistence. I will open this. And here, if I scroll down, you will see entity.class. Means the annotation that you are using openly, it is actually a class written in jakarta.persistence package. For a minute, just open this class. First of all, and this is the thing because of, you can read it. We'll open this particular class and its package is jakarta.persistence. Generally, we call all these things as JPA annotations. This entity, ID, these all are JPA annotations, means Jakarta Persistence API annotation. Now, what is this? It is a public at the rate of interface entity. What is this? So can we say entity is an interface here? What is at the rate of interface? We'll see this thing. Just scroll down and here only one thing is written. String name default. Here if you read this line, defaults to the unqualified name of the entity class. This name is used to refer to the entity in queries. Anyways, I will close this, scroll down a bit more, and you will see id.class. Same package. Scroll down, interface. So all these annotations are already there is no nothing is automatic. For giving you something automatic, there is a lot of manual is going on inside. There is lot of manual is going inside. Even though what we are seeing that you are eating food and it went to your stomach. So the answer is not correct. It takes around 12 to 15 hours to reach your stomach because the food will go to your large intestine, then small intestine, then at last it will reach your stomach. So if I am having my dinner at 9 Just an example, it will reach to my large intestine at night 1 or 2, and then small intestine at morning 5 6. So there is a long process. Nothing is automatic. Yes. So whenever I am able to keep at the rate of entity and table is getting created, so there is someone internally, there is someone who is doing this part. This is just because you don't know this. As a developer, it is giving us particular relax that okay, I am not writing query now. Now my discussion is how many such annotations we are having that will ease out our life. Two already we are seeing, this entity one and this ID one. How many more we are having? So let's understand. JPA annotations. JPA. Here I will write both Java or Jakarta because its name is Java Persistence API, but package name is coming from Jakarta Persistence API. So both things are correct. So JPA annotations are the annotations provided by Jakarta dot persistence package. So these are the annotations provided by Jakarta dot persistence package. These annotations are used to simplify the database access. To simplify the database access, JPA provides, even Hibernate also provides some of the annotations. It's not like that Hibernate is not providing. Hibernate is also providing, but we don't need those. So JPA provides a variety of annotations. A variety of annotations. Following are the some of uh, important annotations provided by JPA. So the first one that is provided by JPA is entity. What is the work of this entity annotation? First we will write where it is written. Entity annotation is written over the class. Where it is written? It is written over the classes. And it is used to create, or it is used to convert a normal class into an entity class so that Hibernate can create the table of entity classes. The table of entity classes, right? So who is doing that? At the rate of entity, any class. Now let's say in this particular project, I will create one more class. Here we have employee class. Let's create a company class as well. And in this company class, generally company will have a registration ID, registration number, registration ID, and the company will be having its name. And the company will be having some of the departments in the company. As of now, I am keeping string only. And this company will be having revenue as well. How much revenue a company is generating in 1 year, that is called revenue. Now just simple thing, this company is a entity and it requires a primary key. So this registration id is the id at the rate of id. We will just run the application. So not doing any transaction, we will just run our application. It is not writing any query, and the reason is we have to map the company class. The configuration file of Hibernate don't know anything about company class. So like this, here we are mapping employee class. Same way we have to map company class as well. So company. We'll save and just start the application. So here just written the entity and ID and mapped. So create table company, registration ID integer, not null, department varchar 255, name varchar 255, revenue big int because I have kept long to the revenue. Primary key is the registration ID. Table is created. So over any class, if you are just writing at the rate of entity, we will check our database as well. Our database is Hibernate CRUD, I think. Database name table, Hibernate table. Hey, this is Oracle, sir. Employee. Oh, this is not visible in my laptop, so I can't see. Why did you said employee is a table? Ah, but why I opened this database now? To check whether this company table is created or not. Because just now we did this. That's too amazing. So this is our entity annotation. So example also we can mention here that if there is any public class, student, employee, anything, the entity annotation will be kept over it. And all the annotations should be imported from Jakarta.persistence strictly. No other choice is available. So this is the entity annotation. The next one that we are having is table at the rate of table. Now, what is the use of this particular one? That also we'll see now. Table annotation is also provided by Jakarta dot persistence package, and it is used to provide the metadata about the entity class. Metadata about the entity class. What kind of metadata? So we will understand that also. And when someone is asking what is metadata, don't say data about data. Last time I gave a good definition for it. Right, Seeger? What is that definition? What is metadata? Data about data is not the answer, first thing. What is metadata? Anyways, let's talk here. So, just an example. If we are not specifying it, if we are not specifying the table name, then Hibernate will create the table name as the class name. Table name same as the class name. But we can change it. We can change it by providing name metadata inside the table annotation. Inside the table annotation. How? If there is an example, let's say there is a class of public class full stack courses in Nourish IT. Now, this is the class name, full stack courses in Nourish IT. And now, if we are writing at the rate of entity tag here, table name will be same, full stack course in Nourish IT. But we can change it by how? By providing the name metadata inside the table annotation. So what we will do at first, we will keep at the rate of table annotation. Inside this, I will provide metadata. Metadata means hidden information about one particular data that is generally not set as the default one. So inside the table, I can say that name equals to FS course, FS course in NIT, like this. Or you can say course in NIT or something like that. Course in NIT, course underscore in underscore NIT. Like this also you can say that table name equals to courses in NIT. Now the table will be created with this name. So you will be having some easiness in fetching the data. Some easiness, not too much. So that is how it works. Understood the table annotation? Very good. Now when I'm using these annotation, don't look at my face. That's why we are discussing all these. Now, what is the metadata here? The metadata generally not required. Metadata is never required because the substitute of this metadata are available. That this is the substitute. If you are not providing this easy name, we will take this hard name. So metadata is the hidden information which is set to by default value, but we can change it. Or you can say the hidden information about something which is generally not available. So this is your table annotation. It's your table annotation. Understood the table annotation? Understood? Okay. The next one is there is no order of them, right? That okay, at first we will discuss entity, then table. I am writing them as I am remembering them. So there is no order. Don't think that this one is the greatest, that one is the latest. No, not like that. I am writing them as I am remembering them. So ID annotation is kept over the fields. It is not kept over the class. It is kept over the fields. And why we use the ID annotation? We use ID annotation to provide metadata about any field. It means that if we are writing ID annotation over any field, Hibernate will treat that field as primary key, not null. Hibernate will attach these two things. Hibernate will attach these two things automatically by itself. Primary key, not null. Hope you understand primary key. I am not discussing that. So there is a public class of student, and this student is having two fields: private int id, private string name. Not id actually, for student roll number is the correct form. Okay, like this. And I will mention one more thing. Note, each entity class, each entity class must have id annotation. Otherwise, Hibernate will throw error. So let's say I will delete this company table. Okay. So now company table is deleted. Again, we will start the application, but from the registration ID of the company, I will remove this ID annotation. And let's start the application. So we got the error here. And what is the error? Entity means entity class. com.hibernate.company has no identifier. Every at the rate of entity class must declare or inherit at least one at the rate of ID or at the rate of embedded ID. We'll see this. What is this embedded ID also? So it is mandatory to write. There should be one primary key in your application, otherwise it's a complete error. Your application will not at all work. entire application, because you will get error in the mapping of that one particular part. Now it is created. If you focus on the registration ID, at first it has added not null. And what is the primary key? Registration ID. So whichever field is having this annotation will be treated as primary key not null. And over this roll number, I will attach that annotation at the rate of ID. And this student class is my entity class. So that is how this ID annotation works. Entity table ID. Okay. The next annotation is at the rate of column. At the rate of, here we'll write column annotation is kept over the fields to provide their name, length, and other properties. So now let's understand. We'll just go back and here. We'll delete the company table again. This company class is having one registration ID, right? And what I want that whenever table is getting created in my database, this registration ID should be looking reg underscore ID in class. But in database, it should be going as a ID only. In database, it should go as ID only. So here I will write column. And I will give one metadata that column name will be equals to ID. Column name will be equal to ID, not registration ID, only ID. Because in database, who is checking that? In class, I will work multiple times, so I should know that this is the registration ID. That's why I have kept. But in database, I want only ID. So now if I kept like that, create table employee ID integer not null. Which field it is creating now? ID. So we can provide name as well. Then length also we can provide. Now if you check, there is one field, company's name or department like that. By the way, it is sorting them in alphabetical orders. So department work at 255. Or let's say name, company name is of 255 length. Is it possible that any company is having this much length name? No. At least 30, 40 is fine. So that also we can say. By default, fields, by default column name will be same as field name. And the length of string fields will be 255 by default. And there is a reason that it is 255. That also I am telling you. The reason is, if you check 255, it is not starting from 1. It is actually starting from 0. So 0 to 255 means total number of bits are 256, and that is equals to 2 to the power 8. That is equal to 2 to the power 8. It means that what? When we are talking about 2 to the power 8 256 means one particular byte. These are 8 bits, and we are talking about 8 bits are equals to 1 byte. So that is a question asked sometime, that what is the memory uses difference between Java and database? What is the memory uses difference between Java and database? What is the memory space taken by string? Sir, how string can take space? It's a non-primitive, right? It's a non-primitive, but it takes space where it will store. What is the size of a string? Depend on its character. Null. Size is null. So did I ask about default value? Tell me on Monday what is the string size in Java. So that is why it takes 255 byte. But we can change it. How we will change? By default. But we can change both the things by using column annotation. So let's first check. Name already we are changing by using column annotation. This name and department are taking 255 255 length. So you keep column annotation, length equals to 20. It takes a int value. Same thing to the department. Save the file and we'll start the application again. Alter table, modify column department varchar 20. Now they both the columns are having column length as 20, or it will take whatever you are giving, 20, 21, 22, like that, doesn't matter. So here if we are having a public class of employee, at first this should be a entity, private int id at the rate of id. After that we have private string name. Now this name field, I let's say here I will say emp underscore name, emp underscore name, and this is emp underscore id. In database I don't want this emp underscore id or emp underscore name. In database I want very simple. So here at the rate of column, name equals to id. But here I want to change length and name both. How I will change? Same annotation, same working. Comma separated value, CSV format. So column name equals to name, comma length equals to 30, 30, 20, whatever, like this. So that is the use of this column annotation. Column annotation. The next annotation is transient. Yesterday we used transient. Yes, we used. So now tell me why we used transient yesterday. So transient annotation is used over the fields. First thing. And why we use? So it is used to hide particular column. It means that hibernate will not map that particular field into database, into table column which is having transient annotation. So if there is a class of employee having some of the fields, and there is one field that I don't want that it should go to database, that is address field. So I will make this address as transient. I will make this address as transient. And what will happen in this case? My table will be having exactly only two columns. The very first column will be ID and second one will be name. As this address is marked as transient, no chance of going to database. Even if you are doing transient.setId doesn't matter. Not at all available. In online we are not getting size of string. It says size of string is not fixed. Then it might be depending on something, right? That also I said. It's a non-primitive, so its size is not fixed. So its value or its size value depend on something. You have to find that particular thing. So transient is done. Then we have lob. Lob and blob. Both are having same working. At the rate of lob, at the rate of blob. Large object, and this is binary large object. Binary large object. See, there is one particular thing that database directly cannot store the non-text data. It is only able to store the text data. Then how our images and videos will be stored? So for that, at first your images will be converted to this particular part, binary large object or large object. So if you are coming from a JavaScript background, you might be knowing about base 64, the format of converting image into binary object. Now all these are looking very theoretical and very sophisticated things. Let me show you a practical of this. And that same thing we will do using Hibernate, but as of now, let me do it online only. What you have to do is you just have to go to your browser, any browser, and type image to base 64. What you have to type image to base 64. Open any website that you are getting. Any. I am not saying that this is the particular one. So let's say this one. And upload your file, image file. So maybe I am having some image. So this is a logo. I will just open this and encode it. And now this is the binary code of my image. This is the binary code of my image, this one. So whenever you are keeping at the rate of lob, at the rate of blob over any field, that will convert your image into this text. Now it might be looking surprising. Now what I will do, I will copy this text, copied I hope, will open another website where we will say base 64 to image, base reverse. This time I am having base 64 code and I will convert that to image. So it is asking for my base 64 code and I have pasted. Now same code will be converted to image now. And this is the image, zippy bus. Now let me show you the picture that I have uploaded. This was the picture that I have uploaded there. Same picture, not even a single pixel color difference. So your audios, videos, pictures are actually getting converted into binary format, right? Same way will happen here also. That at the rate lob and blob are used to store large objects. And large objects, technically I'm talking about multimedia data here. Multimedia data. Here I can't show you the example, so we are just holding it here. At that time you just remember, I will try to store images and you should able to retain this thing that okay, we will use lob or blob. We will be using lob and blob. The next annotation that we are having here is at the rate of embedded ID. Embed embedded ID. There are two annotations actually, that is at the rate of at the rate of embedded and at the rate of embedded ID. As they are equivalent, so we can treat them same as well. So the parent annotation is this at the rate of embed. Now why we are using this? So the embedded annotation is used to embed a class in an entity. Again, you can't understand this now as you haven't worked with the classes. Okay. The next one is all those are related to mapping now. At the rate of 1 to 1. At the rate of 1 to 1. Have you done mappings in database? Mapping. Join. Done. Joins. Have you done joins in database? Left join, right join, full outer join, inner join. Okay. So 1 to 1 annotation is kept over the fields. Is kept over the fields. And it is used to create a 1 to 1 mapping or relation. Why it is used? It is used to create a 1 to 1 mapping or 1 to 1 relation. That it means that one entity or one field will be having relation with only one field. So a typical architecture of 1 to 1 looks like this. Let's say this is one class and this is one class, and here you are having some entities like A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. This C is having relation with 2, B is having with 3, and A is having 1. So one person of this table is having relation with only one person. That is how joins are performed here. Okay, so we'll see that 1 to 1. Let me write all here. The next one is 1 to many. 1 to many. 1 to many annotation is kept over the fields, and it defines the one field relation to many fields. This is 1 to many. We have at the rate of many to 1 in the same way, and we have many to many as well. We have many to many as well. So these are the four same way. They are kept over the fields and they define many to one relation, many to many relation. And what is this relation? What is this mapping? We'll understand when we are done with the CRUD operations. We have one more important annotation, that is at the rate of generated value. At the rate of generated value. So generated value annotation is generally kept over the fields, and that to primary key. So whichever field is having at the rate of ID, so this generated value is kept there only. And what it does, it is used to provide generation strategy. It is used to provide generation strategy, and there are technically four kind of generation strategy: auto, identity, sequence, and table. Generation strategies means if user is not providing the primary key, if user is, let's say user forgot to provide the primary key, and your primary key cannot be null, so Hibernate will not throw error. If you are writing the generation strategy, Hibernate will try to create that, say last ID was 1, let's make this 2 3 like that. Hibernate will automatically do that. So there are four kind of generation strategy. So if user is not providing the value of primary key, it means that if user is not providing the value of primary key, then how Hibernate will write the value of primary key. So that is done with the at the rate of generated value. So this is at the rate of generated value. Okay, now let's try to solve one of a problem here. So this generated value I should keep near ID. Now fine. Now let's try to solve one problem here. So this is my company table where registration ID, company name, company department and company revenue. So if we are having table, so we will drop. Now table is not there. Let's try to run the application. And here we have seen that table is created. But the fields are different. But the fields are different. How fields are different? I have given ID, name, department and revenue. How I have given ID, name, department and revenue. How fields are coming here? ID, department, name and revenue. Why there is a swapping between name and department? So by default, Hibernate do a sorting. By default, this Hibernate will do a sorting. Sorting means all the integer data fields will come at the top. All the integer one will come at first. Then all the string one will come. But in alphabetical order. In alphabetical order. Alphabetical order means I was having two fields, string name and then I was having string department, string name and string department like this. But as this D comes first in alphabetical order, so table will be created in the same way. If you are not specifying it, if you are not specifying, if you are specifying then it is fine. But if you are not specifying this particular part, then table will be created in that one particular way itself. Which particular way? Int, string and string will be coming in alphabetical order and rest long and then double. So that is the hierarchy followed by Hibernate. Now let's go back and try to fix this problem. We are having the column annotation. So we'll just go back to Maven dependencies Jakarta Persistence API. We will open the package, check column, and here we have column. Specifies the mapped column for a persistent property or and check how many things we can give to the column. Name nullable equals to first, means this can be null or not. You can provide this nullable value. That column can be null or not. So nullable equals to false. It cannot be null. Length equals to 5.2 column. It means that column is not giving us anything related to field position. We have something as access class. So I will open this access class. So why we are using this? Used to specify an access type to be applied to an entity class, mapped superclass or embedded class, something like that. And here there is nothing provided. Then we have access types. We'll open this class and check. So used with the at the rate of link access annotation to specify an access type to be applied to an entity class, mapped superclass, and something like this. Scroll down, field, property. There is something we are getting now. Field, property. It means that access type is defining. This access type is defining how particular table is going to be created. Means how field will be there. Let's try to use this. So at first we will drop our company table, and over the class I will try to say at the rate of access type. Access type. And when I'm trying to write access type, there is a complete error here. There is a complete error that you can't use this access class like this. Now, hold on a bit. Go back to the same class again. Access type. It's not a interface. What it is? It's a enum. It's a enum. What is enum? Don't say enumerated object or enumerated data. Say something else than that. Full form I know. What are enums in Java? What are enums? Creating own data types, const values. What are enum? Check this particular one. So access and access type both I have opened here. This access is the interface, means we can use this access. So what I will do, I will use access and we will provide its value. So how this table will be accessed, we can provide its access type. So I will say access type, how many type it is providing, field or property. So I will say that the access type of this company class will be field. The access of this company class will be field, and you have to import it, by the way. Access type class also we have to import. Sorry, semicolon is not there. So what we are doing, access type dot field. We'll check the table once. Show tables. No company table is there. And now we'll start the application again. Remember, core Java is still the boss of everyone. Doesn't matter what you are learning. So how table is getting created now? Create table company, ID integer not null, department varchar, name varchar, revenue begin, and primary key is the ID. Is it the same order that you are giving? Department and name? Is it the same order that we are giving department and name? We are giving name and department. What we are giving? Name and department. Let's check the table first. So description of company table. ID, department, name. But we are giving name as first. Internet. For those who are joining online, am I audible? Okay, fine. So again, when we are doing the access type, there is no effect. We have one more access type. We have one more access type, that is property. So now instead of field, I will write property. We'll just check what is happening when I'm writing the access type as property instead of fields. So at first we will drop the table company and restarting the application. And some of the error. Error is saying has no identifier. Okay, got it. Now, property means you are importing it from somewhere, so this ID is not valid, like that it is saying. Now, I was asking you something as DDL, like that. So there is one line, and that line is your task for this weekend. The order of columns, I have already given you 90% hint. You just have to find the rest 10%. The order of column is in the database table is not fixed. Is not fixed. Is not fixed or guaranteed. Even after using annotations. Even if you are using the particular annotation, then also it is not fixed. If we want the Hibernate to check the fields and create the table in the same way, so there is the solution that create the table by using DDL or schema SQL. This one. So this is the just line I am writing, that order is not specified even if you are using annotation. You have to find a one fixed way that If we are running 1,000 times, all the time it should give us right answer. All the time it should give us right answer. Find something column, order, something like that. So this is your task, that how you are defining the field hibernates same way. And these are some of the common annotation, not all actually, but common and highly used. Some are very barely minimum used. Even at the time of development, I will write those. But remember all these. These only I will ask to you. Rest I will write if some are coming. So these are commonly used JPA annotation, and your task is to find one annotation or one method that is creating the table in this desired format. Means ID should be the first column, name should be the second column, department should be the third column, revenue should be the fourth column. Okay, so that's your task for the weekend. And when we are starting the class on Monday, at first we will start the class with this only access type, means this particular situation, and then we will create a application to perform CRUD operations in Hibernate. How to perform CRUD operations in Hibernate, where we will see about save method, persist method, update method, get method, load method, criteria builder. A lot of things are there. Okay, fine, guys. Let's connect again on Monday. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Bye bye. Take care.